Everybody. So yesterday, the goal yesterday was to get this pop up to show like the name instead of like like English. This is English U.S. So something because once like ES is Mexican Spanish, and this is Spain Spanish. But once we get past about five or six of these, I have no idea what they are. So I need to actually have the words because I do know the words. Like I do know if we're using some kind of Russian, I know Russian, and then like or Chinese, I know Chinese, but I don't necessarily know whatever CHMN or whatever Mandarin Chinese would be. Or so, anyways, so I want to add a better. I want this to be a more rich information so that I can update this properly. So my original idea was I was going to just make these objects and and basically have the key and the string, but the problem is that the the way the form is working, the reactive form and all that, it's working very well for strings, for primitives, and things get wonky when you go from primitives to objects. So I was just like, you know what? Let's not. It's going to be way too much work to try to do this. Try to redo these things as objects, but we do want to have objects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say private supported languages. I guess I was always call them dictionaries, but I think map might be a better word. And it is a basically a key. Has a key that's a string, and it has a lang map. Is that what I called it over here in my new interface? Which look up. Add LU to there because language is just such a generic word, just almost guaranteed to cause some kind of very difficult to diagnose edge case bug. Okay, so it does not know what a lang lookup is. That's a bummer. I hate LU. I don't like the. I would rather it just be an item, just a generic. If it wasn't for the fact that item was like, if it wasn't the fact that object is a reserved word, I'd probably use that all the time. Language object. Let's see if it can figure out where a language item came from. No. Don't know why I can't figure this out. Let's see if we can figure it out from here. Okay, so now it brought it in, but it still doesn't seem to like this. Get rid of this altogether. I just wanted to see if I could trick the IDE into doing what I want. Okay, so I call them dictionaries. I'm pretty sure I use dictionary somewhere else inside of here. URLs dictionary. return route dict.
You ready?
Where is my... Oh. So let me just do this without a map. And I don't think the problem is this, because that should be fine. I can't remember how to do this, and I know it can be done. So dictionary that has a string as a key. So they're saying just map. I can just say map, which I would love to do that. I would love to just change my whole... New map. Oop. I don't know if this is going to do what I want, but it's worth getting a try. Map, and then I guess you say supported language. So it really won't let me interact with it at all, so it looks like I might need to do this. So in here, in the very beginning of my constructor, I can just say, I think, set. And then E N dash U S, comma. Okay, so I wonder if... So it looks like I can be like this. Oh, this is nice. String, colon. String, comma. Any. Okay, so let me do that. So, but I would rather it be a string, comma, language item. This is totally new for me. And if it works, then I have to try it, because at work, I do these all the time, but I don't know if, like, it's an older version of Angular. I don't know, which uses an older version of TypeScript. I don't know if this is a new TypeScript or not. But so ENUS, and I want this to be a code is equal to ENUS dash US, and then comma, and then what was it? I can't even remember. Code, oh, name. See, I so rarely use name because quite often doesn't like it. English US. I think that's how I want that to show up in the label. So this is ES. And this is Spain. No, Spanish. It's Spain. And then And I think the hard thing about this is like kind of figuring this out for the first time is like takes so much longer than doing it like after you've done it a few times. So it's so hard to like gauge the time. Okay, and so now I want this to be an empty. And then right here, I want to get all the values of the map. So hopefully I can just say this dot, hopefully there's a map function that gives you all the keys. This dot supported languages. That's dot keys. And I don't know if that works or not, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try it out. I love this. This is one of the funnest parts. Okay, so basically I think oh, map keys. This dot supported, I was jumped ahead. Ooh, equals. Let's just see what is going wrong here. So I think it's upset probably. Okay, so this is not an array apparently. This is an iterable thing, and so we want to make this into an array. So I believe what we do is array dot from. The thing is arrays come with lots and lots of overhead. They have all kinds of functions and attributes and stuff. So it's better to not make arrays if you don't need to. But in this case, I think we actually need an array. So theoretically, when I hit save here, everything should continue to work, even though I changed this to nothing, because this should happen before anybody even tries to read this. So in theory, when I open this up, it should all work just like it did before. Okay, so now that's good. So now inside of our speech service, we can add a new function that returns the title or get name. Takes in a code, which I don't know. Did we make types strongly typed official codes? I don't think we did. A code, and it returns the string, returns the name, but the code is a string. And we're going to return this dot supported languages map code. Ah. And then, so that should work, but it's not. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. Is equal to this supported, and we're going to say that it is not it's our language, and that's of type language item. As language item. So it can't figure out on its own that that's a language item, but return lang dot name. But we can tell it that, hey, by the way, what you get from there. So basically this is going to break if, well, I actually want to probably return an empty string. But I do feel good about this because using these maps is something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I just never got around to it, but I think it'll make things better for me. Okay, just make sure nothing broke. We're not doing anything, so I can't see how anything would break. Okay, so now get supported language name. So now in this function, that's what we want for the value in there. So in our app, discrete settings dialog.
What?
So basically right here, we want I guess, I don't know, I'm a little confused. As per usual. But then, okay, so these are the values. This is the actual thing. So we want to get the name of that language. So we can probably create a function in here that takes the name.
You ready?
So we're going to just say, I think it goes in here, right here, yeah. So we're going to have a function that returns a name. So get name for code. And it's going to take a code that is a string, and it's going to return a name, which is a string. So for now, I'm just going to have it return the code. Make sure nothing breaks, nothing should break. And then over here, we're going to say get name for code. I don't know why it decided. So basically we're going to pass it in the code. And right now at this moment I'm expecting to get the exact same back because literally all I'm doing is returning. I don't know why it doesn't like this. So it's saying that it might give us an undefined. So it's not letting it compile. But, so we're going to say or undefined. And so now we're going to say name const equals can I do that? I don't know what the problem is here. Oh, because that's always going to be false. It's saying like, hey, this is always going to be something. Code. None. Not upset about something now. Oh, it's still upset over here, which is weird. Mm, just string. Oh, so it's saying, oh, it could be null, not undefined. So it's saying that, hey, you said you can take a string or an undefined, but I'm only going to give you a string or a null. So now we're good. I think we'll still get the code back, right? Because it's going to return the code. Yeah, so that's good. And so I want to go ahead and try to implement that down here as well. And, but I think, okay, so this one's a little bit different. So this is just get. And I'll explain this in 1 second for code. Okay, so basically what's happening is this language comes from our supported languages, but they're actually codes, right? These weren't actually, so I probably should name this to language code. Code. So that should work for us. And everything should just keep working. Hola. Yeah, E-N-E-S, yeah, everything worked. So now all I want to do, what I expect, I just want to make sure that this is working at all, like that it's just functioning, I guess is the better word for it. So I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to return hi. And they should, oh, that needed to be a string. Hi. So basically what I'm hoping is to see hi all the way down, but it should still work. Yeah, hi, hi, hi. So this, I believe, is Mexican, so Spanish Mexican. Hola. Oh, hola. Yep. Yes. So that's still working. So now what we want to do is we want to get from our speech service. I think it's get supported language name and code. Okay, so we're going to say if code and if this exists. Then name is equal to. And here's a perfect example of this is a perfect example of something that you're going to get a this is a perfect example of when this code is done, it will probably, the actual final JavaScript that makes it to the browser probably won't look anything like this. This is more just so that we can understand it better. what is it? It is a language item. Okay, so you have to cast this as an unknown. This is not in all. Oh, that sucks. I can't put it on two different lines. That's really weird. I always found this to be one of the stranger things is that, yeah, or this is one of the things that kind of appeared later in TypeScript is having to cast things to unknown and then to um, whatever you want it to be. And it is a bit weird. Um, okay, so we want to return name. So you may not have to do that. Like if you're using an older version of Angular. I don't know. Oh, because it's const. I'm just going to set it to none, unknown. So now we should get the name, I believe. We're getting the name from our little map. This is the first time I've ever used map, and I've been wanting to use map for a long time, so it did not work. Yeah. Probably have errors in my console log. So it says it can't find name. That was not useful. So this is in the service. It's like I can't find this. Let's see. There we go. So our lang is undefined, which is kind of a bummer. Lang map. Oh, okay, so these are not. That is interesting. Okay, so I haven't used maps much, so I'm definitely not using that right. It doesn't look like this dot supported languages map dot get. I would have thought en dot us. I don't think that's right though. Okay, US is capitalized. Okay, so that is working. So what the next thing is to figure out what the heck did I send in as a code? En US lowercase. Okay. So I think that makes sense. It makes sense that something is wrong. I think we need to go to the services. X. So what did I? So the keys ended up all losing their case when we did this. So I want this to be lowercase, I guess. I guess I want to learn though. I want to understand what's going on. So use dot keys changes the case of the keys to lowercase. Is there a way to keep the original case? Probably not. I'm guessing there's not. I'm guessing I'm going to need to store them all in lowercase, which I don't see any reason to not. Yeah, so okay, so it's saying map keys does preserve the case. But I don't think it is. Let's just double check this, but maybe it's because of the array from. Maybe the array from ended up. Maybe if I do the dot 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 keys, that'll go away. Inspect. So, oh, so we do have this. Okay, and then when we look in here, is it? Okay, so we know here we've lost it. ENUS. And we can go over here and we can see. Yeah, so we lost it here too. It's already gone. Ah, it's because we made it, we hard coded it small. All right, that makes sense. So now let's come in here. And where do I have it? So I wonder, seems like I could get, okay, let's go back over here into our service. And do I have it right? So I have it wrong there. So that should be ENUS. And then I would rather use this in that, but I don't know if it's got the value yet. It may not have the value when it gets run. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, so let's just make that US. Let's see if we get something good. See if we get some positive feedback. No. You son of a. Is this the right one? I think right here is where I want. Okay. So ENU is, that's right, ENUS. And I think in my console I've already ENUS. Okay, so that should be good. So now let's step in. No. Oh, that's right. It's so funny. I thought this was going to be so easy. Oh, this gives you the whole language item, not the. Okay. So that, my friends, was my mistake. Okay, so this is going to return the language name. Right. I don't know why I didn't just. Okay, let's just check this out again. Am I there? Code. Yep. Okay. So this, I believe, is going to give me the language that I want. No. Okay, so then this returns the language name. Okay, so that's good. So we'll step out of there. But see, I think I'm getting the language here, but I'm actually getting just the name. What is going on? Did I have an error? It says on line 170 of this. And we're in the service. So it's saying right here that language name doesn't, I think it's saying that language doesn't exist. So why? Why does it not exist? Let's get name for code. And our name is undefined. Our name is, it's so weird. So our code is ENUS. Okay, do we get in here? Is that, that's what I'm curious about, if we get in there. I can't even tell you how many hours and hours and hours I've spent doing this sort of thing. So ENUS. And it looks like our language map has an ENUS. And so we step. And we have our language and we have our language name. So we step out this one. And see, the thing is I think I'm gonna get the name, but I thought I was getting an item and I forced it on here. So like if I actually run this line of code in the console, I believe I'm just gonna get a name. Yes. So on that line of code here in the discrete component on line 80, I should just be wanting the name back. I don't want the whole object back. So now it's in this guy, line 80. This should be name. This should be gone. And now let's go back to here and see what do I say I'm getting back from there? A string, okay. So there we go. So that's the kind of thing. I think if I was like working at a place and I was on sprints and stuff, I would have thought that that was going to be a much, much easier job than it ended up being. I don't think there's anything unusual about that. A lot of times you just think things are going to be a lot easier than, and then they end up not. And then if you give them, sometimes they want like a good explanation of what you're going to do, and then if you give them the wrong thing, it's still broken. Undefined. So it's saying that here on line 170, that lang name sometimes doesn't exist. And that's because what is code? Let's go to console, line 170. So sometimes it exists, sometimes it doesn't. I think the problem is that let's see. See, code is something here. So code. So it already died on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I really want to understand this. I think that's my main problem here. Get supported language. So sometimes we're in here and code is something different, it looks like. And it dies when it's something different. So like if I was working right now, I would literally just say if lang. Don't call this don't just return a blank string if it isn't what we're expecting. And then but I do kind of want to understand this because I don't normally when I run into something like this, it's just like I don't have time to just dig in and just digest this lovely little bug, this juicy bug, and I do want to really get a good feel for it. Okay, so this is that. I'm not in the debugger though right now, and then so I'm guessing, yeah. So when lang is undefined sometimes. But the code was English. US. Oh. The code is English US. So it's like I'm actually I think in the form I'm actually updating. I don't think I want to update the see the value is just that. How did it get ENUS as the language code? Okay, so I'm just going to remove this and we'll put question marks and see if that's no, that is not the problem. Although now it has a value there. And what if I put question marks here? Okay, so it gets upset that we actually set the value of this, I think. Which is really, really bizarre because the language.value is going to be ENUS. Okay, so if we change this one now. Okay, so let's change that one back at the top and put question marks in here. Let's see what kind of stuff happens. No. So I think return. Okay, so let's just do this. Return name instead of. Maybe it was something weird I was doing in there. Okay, so before this was breaking it and I was recalling it. Oh, with the name and the name. Okay, so that definitely should not. It should always. It should have been the code to begin with. But so I guess in some cases the name goes through as unknown or something and it breaks. But let's go ahead and make that name. I think all of our problems are gone. I'm waiting for it to rebuild. I guess I didn't consider that. Or maybe I didn't actually make a change. Okay, so English, Spanish, Spain, Spanish, Mexico, and then close this. Oop. Hola. Let's see, back to English. Oh, that's so much easier to understand too. Hello. And so that was the goal. I think this is fine. EN, US, you've selected it. Then I don't think there's anything else, right? I think that's everything we wanted to do for discrete. Discrete is done. I mean, I think I was thinking of also doing the sort of lookup there, but I don't think it's worth it. I think that once you've selected it, you can remember it. So that is good. So next time I'm going to add more languages. Probably like, seems like there's no reason not to add like 20 or 30 languages and play with them. And that's that. I definitely don't feel like I'm at 100% like solid understanding of what in the heck was going wrong with that drop down, but I do feel like it wasn't too bad. Just add that like that. And now all of our, okay, supported keys. This will go through here because I guess we are ready to do a commit. Yeah, so I think one of the things is like this is sort of that was sort of a pattern of how I do things, right? Like I'll sort of try to fix a bunch of stuff and then slowly build it up and slowly start adding things. And that pattern sort of ran me into the wrong direction when it came to this stuff, because then I started trying to convert primitive signals and primitive things going on in the forms into objects, and everything just started going sideways yesterday. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just do like a workaround. Basically, I'm going to create a dictionary that has the lookup. So I didn't want to create the dictionary. One of my initial instincts was to create a dictionary that was just going to be in this. But I was like, well, I want it to be reusable. Okay, I know what I could do. I could create a map, drive the drop downs and all that from the keys of the map, and drive the label off of a dictionary that would a lookup that you would be able to look things up and figure it out. So like I said, I think this is way better, being able to see the language like that instead of the ENUS. But and then I thought that I also needed to hola. I also needed to sort of fix that language here, but I don't think so. I don't think that is necessary at all because you do see what you selected when you select. And I think ENUS will work for at least most of the people that speak English. So I wonder what other kinds of um, what is EN-US question mark. What so I wonder what other ENs are. What GBs, Canada, Australian, New Zealand, Ireland, turdy. I know they always say turdy in Ireland. I would like to try that. See what, golly, all these versions. Oh, there's a Malaysian, Pakistan, Nigerian, Philippines, Singapore, Indian, South African, Ireland. That is nice. Kenya, Tanzania, Ghana, Uganda, Belize, Jamaica, Trinidad, Tobago, and Zimbabwe. Wow. Yeah, that would be okay. So GB. Okay, let's do that. Sorry. Sorry, I know this is going long, but this is fun. EN. I know, Rat. I know. GB.
I love you.
England. England and Great Britain are the same thing, right? Is that right? British. So England and British and are the same thing. Not England and Great Britain. I don't think are technically. I don't think they're the same thing, but I think England and English and British are. I think the English are a subset of the British. Um, so it is great, but I guess the great makes it. I don't know. But anyways, let's just try color. Well, okay, let's go with this one to start. Color. Okay. Thought there was 5 of them. Oh, and I thought that I could possibly be saying the Great Britain version. So now let's try Great Britain. Or England. I guess it should be British, not England. Before I hit save though, let's try it. Color. Oh, interesting. Color. Colora. Color. English pronunciation. Color. Color. Okay, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to hear it.
Color.
Okay, that is not what I wanted. There we go.
Color.
color,
Color.
All right. Now I think I can go like this. Oh, I need to probably need to have it on let's try this. I think I've been able to do this before.
color,
Okay, so it still did that, even though it was English. Let's try it again.
color,
So it does really surprise me that it is, let's see this.
color, color,
I was kind of hoping we'd have some other pronunciations. So anyways, yeah, so that's cool. So you saw how easy it was to add a new pronunciation type. It is interesting that I think English for color. So actually I want to clear all of this. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so we are in English, England. Okay, so let me hit save so we can get our proper British. Okay, and then we're going to come back here. And we are in English. England, English, right? Or, oh, okay, yeah, because we read. Okay, English, US, okay.
color,
Okay, and now.
color,
So it's identical. It was a little bit less, sure. And let's see, did it have the same? Yeah, so it had the exact same thing. It was a little less sure when I did the English one, I think. So now let's turn us to British English.
color,
So 79%, all the exact same stuff.
color, color,
And the exact same. Actually, it was even a little less. So, yeah, I definitely think it seems like it uses the identical stuff for English, England English, or Great Britain British English, and American English, United States English, which is weird. But anyways, that is freaking cool. I think the next video I'm just gonna commit stuff and just add like 30, probably like 3 or 4 different languages, and I guess just play around with that for the next couple of weeks of just adding languages and trying stuff out. Because you got to stop and smell the flowers once in a while, and then I guess because I think we're done coding. I think the coding for this discrete is done. Then I guess I'll do the API, which is basically all the things that exist today. I'm just going to map them out, and then I'll in the code, I'll be looking for specific properties, and if there's properties that don't exist that used to exist, I'll present them like in black, and if I seen them and they existed, I'll present them in green, and if there's something that I had seen before and documented before and it no longer exists, I'll put that in red, and maybe I'll put little icons next to it, and that will be for discrete, and then we can play around with continuous. So anyways, that's fun stuff. Happy coding, everybody. Bye.